Once upon a time, two fairies came to Earth with a magic pitcher. They were on a task to give the magic pitcher to the most deserving human being. Finding a pure-hearted person with a kind soul was tougher than they expected.
When will we ever find a suitable human to gift the magic pitcher to? Behold there, my dear. We may have just reached the right place. Look there, down below.
The fairies saw Pixi, a loving and a charming little girl who had a soft and kind heart. Pixi also believed in sharing and caring. Pixi was loved by everyone.
You think we can give the magic pitcher to that girl? Shouldn't we observe more and make sure? That's correct. Let's follow her and confirm our doubts and then take a decision, dear.
Pixi walked with the heavy pot back to her house. Little did she know that from high above the clouds, the fairies were watching and following her. While walking, Pixi spotted an old woman by the road. On learning that she is thirsty, she poured some water and quenched her thirst.
God bless you, good child.
Pixi feeding the old woman, then resumed her walk back home. The fairies above were impressed, but not totally convinced yet.
I'm sure after this, Pixi will not be able to help anyone else, as no water will be left for her own self. I agree with you. This one will be a delight to watch. Let me try this.
Pixi, while walking, saw something which broke her heart. Pixi just could not walk away from the plight of the tired and thirsty puppy. She rushed to help him out.
Are you convinced, dear? Anything to see or no more now? Nothing to see, but yes, something very important to do. Let's go, dear.
The fairies, confirming their decision to give the magic pitcher to Pixi, magically appeared in front of her. Pixi at first got scared, but the fairies showed her who they are and made her understand that this pitcher will give and give as much as needed. Saying that, they gifted her the magic pitcher.
Magic pitcher? Yes, this pitcher is indeed magical, and you are the right person to have it. Why don't you look into your empty water pot again?
Pixi looked into her pot and voila! Water magically rose and filled itself inside.
Yes, Pixi, this pitcher will support you in your kindness. It will do whatever righteous is needed to be done. It will bring happiness to you as well as to others. It will always be your friend and guide.
Pixi got engrossed in the pitcher's positive radiance and forgot about the fairies. When she looked up again, the fairies had disappeared. She looked around when she heard a sweet, kind voice. Pixi discovered that it was the pitcher that was talking to her.
Hi, Pixi. The fairy mothers have left. I think we should also go home now.
Huh? Yes. Come, let me show you your new home.
Yay! I can hardly wait. Let's go.
Pixi reached her house with the magical pitcher and showed it to her poor parents. But they too needed a proof of pitcher's magical powers. The pitcher, understanding that, went to work by itself, and all of them watched with amazement as the magic of the pitcher unfolded in front of them. And from that day, the pitcher became a member of Pixi's house. And then, from the very next day onwards, the magic of pitcher changed Pixie's and her parents' life. And Pixie, along with the pitcher, changed the destiny of her entire village. The magic pitcher made stew, soups, and juices too, which, along with fruits and vegetables, Pixie distributed amongst the poor and needy. Whatever was left after this was sold by her and the villagers in the market, so that they could have a good income. And time flew by positively, enhancing lives of Pixie and her village. With time, Pixie also grew into a beautiful young lady, with a heart even kinder and softer. And she still loved to help and support the needy. Pixie's village became a model village for everybody. Needy people from far and wide started coming to the village to solve their problems, and many just came to fill their hungry stomachs. The magic stew and the magical soup from the pitcher became known for its healing powers. Pixie, all the soup and stew is over, and we still have many hungry folks still lining up. What do we do?
Oh, is it? Why don't you check again? I can smell the aroma of the fresh new soup.
That was the same day when Destiny had a new twist of fate in store for Pixie. Having heard about the prosperity and greatness of Pixie's village, a young neighboring kingdom's prince named Noah came to see if what he heard was actually true.
Sorry, Prince. I can't risk you going and mingling with common folks. It's too risky.
Is it fine for you now? You will wait here till I don't come back. The prince, now looking like everyone else, goes and watches the proceedings up close. Just then, the prince's eyes fell on Pixie, and he understood that she was the one behind all this. He was immediately smitten by her beauty and benevolence. Once Pixie had gone inside her house, the prince went and knocked on her door. Pixie opened the door, and the pitcher also jumped behind in excitement as it understood what was playing out. Pixie liked the way this young man spoke so kindly. Just then, the young man said something which shocked Pixie.
What? You want to be fed only from someone who is fasting and empty stomach? But why is that necessary?
2 reasons. The first being my mother's oath to the fairies that her son will eat only from someone who is fasting himself or herself on the 25th year of his life. And as for the second reason, it is easy to sacrifice and feed someone when one's own stomach is full. The real charity is when the donor himself is under duress and still practices charity. Well, if you can't, it's fine. I'll go somewhere else and try my luck. Though today is my 3rd day without food.
Wait! I will fast today and tomorrow also, so you can have your full fill of your mother's oath and also will be able to garner your strength back.
And so for the next 2 days, the prince stayed outside Pixie's house under a shed, and Pixie, fasting her own self, fed him with heartiest of meals. After the completion of the 2 days, the prince gets ready to leave. But Pixie and her family were heavy-hearted, as they had developed a liking for him. The young prince, before leaving, requests and asked one last question from Pixie. Which is the most eternal action of this world?
In this world, the only action which lives eternally is an act of charity.
And that was the moment the prince tells them about his true identity. The family was pleasantly surprised. The prince further asked for Pixi's hand in marriage. The family agreed, and the pitcher magically blessed and celebrated the occasion. Pixi and her magic pitcher, along with Prince Noah, started living in his palace.
And today, I promise that the magic pitcher will live in both the places, dividing its time for everyone's benefit.
True to their nature and life's goal, Pixi, along with her magic pitcher, started to work, change, and transform the prince's kingdom too. As Pixi started being loved by everyone for her gracious and kind nature, some close ministers of the palace who were looking after the work earlier grew envious and started plotting against Pixi to get their power and better days back.
This girl, Pixi, has reduced our importance and power to nothing. If she stays here, we are definitely doomed.
Rightly said. That's why I have already come up with a plan to see her exit from this palace and our lives.
The ministers, then putting their plan into action, met the prince privately and poisoned his mind towards innocent Pixi.
No, I don't believe this. Pixi practicing some witchery to control me and snatch my kingdom from me? Not possible. I don't believe a word of all this.
My dear prince, we are sure that seeing will equal to believing, isn't it? Come, let us show you.
Of course, I'm sure the prince will definitely believe his eyes, if not his loyal ministers.
That day, the pitcher had gone back to Pixi's village, and Pixi had been out attending some social work. The ministers led the prince into Pixi's quarters and showed him something hidden away in a secret place. And so the prince, under the pressure of his conniving ministers, planned to banish his love, and now the Queen Pixi from his kingdom. Pixi and the prince being pulled apart from each other made everyone cry and weep. But some people were happy and felt victorious. Pixi was devastated and had lost interest in everything. The whole village, her parents, and especially her dear friend, the magic pitcher. And that's when the pitcher decided to do something big on its own for the first time. That night, after everyone slept, it flew to the prince's kingdom and straight went to where the two culprits were celebrating their devious victory.
Huh? I think I saw something there on the wall.
Oh, come off it. You are too happy and are dreaming, my friend. There's nothing on the wall.
If you are hungry, eat him and let me go. I'm innocent.
Let us go. We haven't done anything to you.
The magic pitcher, who had scared them by becoming a monster, told them to go and confess to the prince about how they had plotted against the innocent Pixi. And if they didn't do as he said, he would come again the next night. The evil ministers had no other choice but to surrender to the pitcher's threat. The evil ministers confessed their ill deed to the prince, who was very angry with them. But because they had surrendered, the prince, instead of putting them in prison, banished them from his kingdom forever. The prince then rushed back and requested Pixi to come back to his palace and live with him. Pixi understood that it was not the prince's fault and agreed. And thus, the magic pitcher continued to practice and apply his magic, always obeying the ever-kind and gracious Pixi.